Hey folks, and welcome back to Glenn and Adrian's Rock Talk. That's Adrian.
And that's Glenn.
And today we're going to go over a little bit of Dickie Betts history, kind of in the wake of the interview I did with Marty Prevett, which released just in the last day or two on this channel. Take a look for it. It's really interesting. Marty played in Dickie's band from about 86 to 89 when the Allman Brothers got back together. He was there for Dickie's album Pattern Disruptive from 1988. A lot of fans regard that album highly. There was a live album that also came out called Live from the Lone Star Roadhouse, New York City. That one had some interesting guests on it, including Jack Bruce. But we thought we would take a look at one of the songs called Duane's Tune. This was a song that was on the album and that also was on the Lone Star live album. It's one that Dickie wrote for Duane Allman. So this particular version also shows up on a list on American Songwriters' website, 5 must-hear songs from Dickie Betts' solo career. So this is one of them. Adrian, you know anything about Dickie Betts?
Mainly early Allman Brothers.
Yeah, that's right.
In memory of Elizabeth Reed.
Yep, that's a big one. And Blue Sky was another song of his. Revival, I think. But he had some pretty good. He did Ramblin' Man, which was their biggest hit. The Allmans went on from, they started 69. Duane passed away in 71, but they continued on, and they had some success. And then it kind of fell apart in the mid-70s. They came back in 1979 with Enlightened Rogues, and they did a couple others that I haven't actually heard them before, so I can't really judge them. And after that, it kind of split apart again, and Dickie and Greg went on to have solo careers. And Greg had, Just Before the Bullets Fly came out, and I'm No Angel, things like that. Well, Dickie had this band and made Pattern Disruptive, which, again, pretty highly regarded. Anyway, I thought it would be worth taking a look at Duane's Tune. All right, well, let's just dive in and take a look.
We're going to do a brand new instrumental piece for you now. It's on our new Epic album, which we're very proud of. A thing called Duane's Tune.
that's all we get. But maybe it probably went into something else. Is likely what happened there. So okay, if I have everything straight, I believe the drummer was Matt, who ended up in Government Mule. Matt Abts. It's spelled ABTS. Anyway, he is the drummer. Yeah, he became the founding member drummer for Government Mule. Warren Haynes is also on there as the second guitar player. Of course, Marty Prevett, who we were talking about recently. Then Johnny Neal would have been on keyboards, and he ended up in the first edition of the Comeback Almonds on the Seven Turns album. And he's also sat in with Idlewild South. That's everybody. Boy, they sounded good, and some of that stuff did sound like some complex stuff with some really nice guitar tone going on and some really beautiful stuff kind of woven in between some just killer changes and almost jazz fusion-esque stuff, some of it. I mean, that's kind of how it hits me. Do you have any particular thoughts, Adrian, on this?
Well, it was a very fine example of Southern rock, I guess. First of all, I mean, that's not all there is to it. It's a really beautiful piece, I think. I started thinking of In Memory of Elizabeth Reed when I was hearing some of those licks.
Yeah. Warren and Dickie were the guitar players when the Almonds got back together.
I was going to say that. Well, it's a good thing Warren was there to double Dickie on the guitar.
Yeah. I think Warren was still a pretty young guy at this point in his career. But, yeah, he did a bang-up job, and it's just good that the whole thing happened the way it did. And the Almonds got back together about a year and a half after this, and then the Seven Turners album came out. So let me just see. I'm kind of curious if this album at the Lone Star was legit. Yeah, apparently it was. It came out on Record Store Day in 2018. So, and they only made 1,400 copies. That's kind of unfortunate, but cool anyway. So let me see here. It says special appearances by Rick Derringer, Jack Bruce, and Mick Taylor. I'm going to assume those were some of the more jam-type songs that they were on, because I don't think they could have stepped into something like what we just listened to. I got the lineup right. It says right here, Dickie's backed by Warren Haynes, Johnny Neal, Matt Abts, and Marty Prevett. So, Adrian, did any of this remind you of the Allman Brothers?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it sounded like classic Allman Brothers to me.
Yeah, Dickie was such a big piece of that, you know. Yeah. Such an important piece. I mean, for example, on Whipping Post on the At Fillmore East album, where it breaks down at the end after, like before Greg sings the very last line of the song, there's like 5 minutes where they're just jamming in this kind of ocean-like state. I think that Dickie was one of the big pieces of that particular part of their sound, where it would just kind of suddenly break down and have these interesting tones, you know, and everything. So, and that's what I heard in this too. So I guess we'll have to check out some of the latter-day stuff.
Yeah, we will.
Anyway, it was great chatting with Marty, and if you haven't seen the interview that I did with Marty on site while we were gigging together, go ahead and check that out. I'll put it in the cards too, so you should be able to find it in the description of this video. And if you enjoyed this video, please give us a like, and if you enjoyed our presentation, please subscribe. All right. Thanks for joining us on this, and we'll catch you on the next one, all right? Take care, folks.
See y'all later.